Welcome to a new episode of the Rafeu Show, this time a home edition. With us the founder and entrepreneur Tabitha Tangherlini, the founder of the cooking session which is called now Nkoto.
Yes.
Welcome to having you here.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I remember talking a long time ago about you doing your own show, and I'm so excited now to see it. So thank you.
I'm so glad that you're here, even with this time of Corona.
Yeah. And we are, we have
the distance.
It's been measured. Tricks with camera.
How are you? Where are you from and what you do?
Wow, that's a lot in one question. I am doing well at the moment. Where am I from? I say that I'm originally from the US because I've been to a little bit of everywhere. So I've been to all but 8 states, traveled around quite a bit, and the last place I moved from was California, that has sun all year. Okay, yes, I'm still trying to get over that, especially every winter people ask me, why do you live here? And I'm like, I don't know. And then what do I do? Currently right now, I'm rebranding my business. But I put together events to help people to connect on a little bit deeper level. So help people to create communities, help people to connect, and basically chase their dreams.
Do you always wanted to do what you're currently doing right now?
Not exactly how it looks now. So I've done a lot of different things. My background is theater. I was in education for several years and social work. I had my own catering business, and so I've done several different things. But I think this for me right now, it's a mixture of using my background in social work, coaching, psychology, and also my background in food. And it's really helping people to come together. So I think it's kind of like the sum of my journey and kind of what I like to do in supporting people.
Okay, that's really nice. And actually, how did you start?
For this particular adventure, wow. So like I said, I did have my own catering business for a while. And I really enjoyed it. So most of our clients were either diplomats or weddings. So I got to do it for a lot of embassies and for weddings, which drove me a little bit crazy, if I'm going to be honest. And actually kind of burned me out. So that's why I ended up stopping, because it wasn't, I cook not to cook. I cook to bring people together. And if you're in catering, you're doing businesses, everything else, but you're not really part of that kind of thing of actually helping people to meet. And so I stopped the catering and I was doing coaching and everything else. And this is something I do anyway, I always had dinners, and every year I do Thanksgiving and bring like 40 people together and help them to meet and to talk and everything else. And the more I did it, someone's like, you should actually really do this for other people. And I thought about it and I kept doing it. And then a friend of mine who runs another business, freeze-dry food, he's like, you should do it. And so we actually started doing it kind of out of his apartment, because he had a bigger apartment, and so it was a nice setting. We started doing these events, and I was like, this is technically helpful. Like, people are meeting, people are connecting, and so it's kind of started from there. And I've been doing it ever since.
So you're doing it professionally, but did you choose your professional career actually, or is it how you said with someone else told you to do it?
I think it was going to be done, and just depended on when it was done. So they kind of gave me the Kickstarter of, why aren't you doing it now? But as opposed to, like, I haven't, like, a lot of people go, okay, so you graduate high school, you do this, you have your career, you have your family, and this is kind of your lifeline. I've never quite had that. I've gone here, then I've gone here, and I've gone here. So, but I think at the same time, like, in this allows me to actually put everything together that I've done. So I use my background from education, I use my background from coaching, I use what I learned with psychology, I use what I learned with in catering and with cooking and meeting people and connecting people and community building, because I've also done for about the last 10 years is I've also helped nonprofit and volunteer organizations to also build communities. And so in that sense, it's kind of taking everything that I've done in my experience and putting it together in one. So in the end, I'm like, at some point it would have happened anyway, but it just pushed me to start then. We all need friends like that. You said you're going to do it.
Talking about your Nkoto, I don't know if it's right how I pronounce it.
Okay.
How did you come with that name?
That's actually a funny journey. So for the past year, it's been the cooking session, which was a play on it because we do cooking at the same time. Like if you go into psychology and other things like that, you always have your therapy sessions. And so it was like a connection of that. But at the same time, we also do other events besides just cooking. So it's basically, we call it as a creative communication agency, kind of in that sense.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And when I just put cooking, it was kind of limited. And I remember talking to someone, and he talks about scaling companies and everything else, which we're going to be looking at doing in the future. And he's like, you need to have a name or a brand that people can follow and people want to be a part of. And so me and one of my friends were brainstorming. We came up 3 pages of names.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's long.
And we narrowed it down to 4. And so, and I asked my friends, I got feedback, and one name wasn't working. And I decided on Nkoto, which for me, it's Koto, which was community with a K, together. And then when I was giving out to people, a friend of mine in Finland goes, well, you know that Koto means home in Finnish.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that goes along perfect with what we do. And then I went to go buy the domain, and I was like, this is not available. And I was like, I put all this together, and what? And then I was in a place, and I was like, huh. And I was like, and I put it in front of it. And I was like, in community together.
Gotcha.
And I was like, that's a nice play, and it kind of says what we were wanting to do. It's about building community and connecting people.
And do you have also, I mean, you are so internationally involved, also some Indian Bengali food which you would like?
Well, actually, one of the last cooking events we did in person was actually Indian. We did a couple of North Indian dishes and Southern Indian dishes. And one of the dishes, I don't remember the name of it, but it was like these little eggplants that you cross and you stuff them with flavors and they cook forever. Super nice. Really good. But I do like a lot of spices. So another dish I thought about the other day is actually I want to say it's a Ghanaian, Nigerian dish, is peanut stew, which is also ground nut stew. I was actually craving that the other day. I was like, and that's something that you would have to make yourself. So I'm like, it takes a while. But no, I do, when I used to do my catering business, I did fusion, which is where you mix different backgrounds together to make something new. And that's probably what I enjoy the most, is why also I don't use recipes, because it's just about, here's flavors from this, here's flavors from this country. How can I mix that?
Nice. Last but not least, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, wow, where do I not see myself? No, I definitely see Berlin as kind of always being a base, probably here, and I would love to have a base also in Northern California again. But I see my business especially, so across Europe and the different places and supporting that across it. And I see myself also going back into public speaking and also helping other communities that are wanting, or other organizations or other communities that are wanting to build. So really supporting in that way of helping people build their own communities, helping companies to realize, okay, yes, I can do this, and yes, I can do this, and yes, I can do this, but how do I really take care of my employees? Because we are a complex beings, which means we also have our mental health, our emotional health, physical, everything tied in together. And I think community is a very big aspect of people being healthy in every area of their life. So that's what I really want to be a part of, is helping other people build their communities, also helping, let's say, mentor other people coming behind of different areas to see, okay, here are the dreams, or here's this, and I'm hustling, how can I go forth to do it, or what's the block that I need to go over. So yeah, I basically see it going across Europe with the business and back into public speaking, so conferences and different things like that.
Amen. That's awesome. Now we are almost finished, and if you liked our show, if you liked Tabitha, if you like me, please give us subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us anywhere else on the social media, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.
Ciao.